Yeah, I think Vertigo probably is going to be the best sort of case in point here for Endpoint to take control of. I think Sprout are going to have a bit of a hard time on this map, but as you mentioned, 2-1, I think the next two maps are where they're going to sort of go with this one. Which does hurt me a little bit being the Endpoint fanboy that I am, but we'll find out how well they can contest at their own right with their new stand-in. A reminder to you all that Malta Vibes is brought to by Gaming Malta, a home of gaming excellence, as we look to the pistol round. Endpoint will be on the CT start of their map pick.
And I think that's really important for the Endpoint side, is getting up on CT, getting off to a flyover start, bring it back once you get onto that T side. And for Sprout, it's about that element of surprise. What can they bring going on to Vertigo? Again, it is their insta-ban. We don't really see too much for it. And look for the map odds, Jay. 1.45 up for Sprout in comparison to 2.63. And just to let you know, it is the series odds, Jay. So overall, you can kind of understand why Sprout would be the favourite in that regard.
If you want to take advantage of those odds, then you can click the banner underneath the Twitch channel. Get yourself involved with Malta Vibes via our partners at LootBet. 10 free CSGO spins up to €100 bonus for your deposit. The pistol round gets live here. Mighty Max and Robin with the utility bases for the CT side. Dennis and Spiddy also have utility as well for the T side. And Endpoint, they have not opted to buy a kit here. It's just basic duels and hoping to suppress these T side forces.
Pretty aggressive too, at least in the standpoint from the CTs around the B stairs, really starting to at least take that control away. And see even Flames just pre-aiming in case the run boost comes around on the pistol round. But for Sprout, this is so incredibly slow. They've really slowed down the place. Almost no map controls come through. They're going to start to regroup out from ramp, but getting close to a minute on the clock, they need to start showing some presence.
Out to the ramp position, several players being seen. The swing from Dennis gets the kill on Robin very early on. Utility taken out of play as well. So much lost for the CT side, and they can enter in towards the A side. They're so passive on the defense, so this will be a bomb plant. A second kill found blind against Mighty Max, predicting the angle well and securing a 5-on-2 as Farvan gets yet another kill through smoke against Flames.
Oh, that's so disappointing. The fact that Endpoint have lost 2 duels just straight through smoke spams and try to set themselves up for the retake, but a 2-on-5. This is pretty much already finished, and the round's done. And Cyril and Crucial might even start trying to back off here. More incendiary comes through, more nades to come up for the Sprout side, and now the aggression looks to come through from DR. What a pistol round coming out from Sprout, and what a way to kickstart their series.
A Crucial left into the B site to hold on to the Kevlar, because this has been an overwhelming force here from Sprout on T side. And you wouldn't expect the T side to go particularly well for the team that starts on it. It kind of confuses me as why Endpoint would pick that CT side, but at the same time, there's also their map pick, so I'm wondering if they have a decent game plan in play. For now though, Sprout, domination to start things off. Straight kills through smokes as well, simple headshots coming out. Like, if you want a clean pistol, I mean, you don't get much more clean than that.
No, you really don't. And you know what? Funny fact, actually, the last time we've seen Endpoint on Vertigo, Jay, was when they got 16-0'd by Mad Lions on their map pick and then ended up winning out the series in DreamHack Open in summer, I believe it was, this year, which was, you know, a month ago or so. So looking to see if they can get a little bit of a decent result from the last time they played it. And Deagle's up, force buy in. Sprout. I wonder if they're going to continue this really slow, methodical approach, because I think in sort of the current era of Vertigo, especially in the tier 2 teams, it's all about getting some quick map control on the T side, trying to see if you can get that ramp control to start the round off, out towards the B stairs. Don't really see too many teams really slowing it down like Sprout are so far.
Lashes over for Sprout to take control of the ramp position. Robin's already going to get tagged out to 52 HP thanks to the scalp shot of Snatchy. No opening kill for either side, though. It's just contact play, shots connecting. Oh, Speedy reading Flames' position as well. Sprout got a good beat on what Endpoint are doing here. Dia will open things up with the Galil kill on Mighty Max. Might even launch a spray through against Flames, taking some very risky crosses. Robin eventually does full Flames, finds one Deagle shot. 2 for 1 all in all. Needs to get Dia next, predicts that angle right, but is unable to get the kill here.
He keeps pressing forwards, finally picked up that Galil, but his Deagle's probably the best shout, and now the overextension comes through. Sprout are ready for it, really running down the clock, 4-on-2 advantage. Endpoint just have to try and stack up the defensive here at the A bomb site and just hope that there's some way that they can maybe deny a bomb plant, Jay, and waste as much time as possible.
Smoke set, AK looking onwards at the edge of it. Down towards cross, Surreal again falls, Spiddy blind. And these kill smokes are getting a bit over the top. Crucial to deny the bomb, though. 10 seconds, that's going to stay alive. A little bit too close to the action, so this will be the 2-0 for Sprout to start things off on the T-side line.
We've seen quite a few kills through smokes to start off Vertigo. And it's always nice being sort of on the, not the receiving end, but the delivering end of that to sort of build up a bit of confidence, sort of saying, right, we can just keep spamming. I mean, certainly if you think of any map, Jay, and you think of any area, like Vertigo at the A bombs, like the spams in towards the new like metal sheet, it could sometimes just be like 4 players just spamming through to see if they can do as much damage as possible. A Sprout dealing with the force buy up 2-0. A gamble stack out to the A bomb site, mid control coming out from Sprout.
Trying to look for the opening way in. No kills to be offered up by the CT side. They're all suppressed and stacked up to the A site play. A very aggressive facing forward, but no contact by Sprout here. They're mostly in towards mid position. They're going to wrap in from the back lines of the A site. Realize that the CTs have really stacked this one up. As soon as they see that first player out here on the site, then they'll know what's going on.
They can just commit the bomb into B now, realizing the stack's there, and Faffin just going to fall back. Got that Mac 10. Dennis to try and back him up. Maybe taking some fights that aren't really that necessary. They can just open up B, go straight in, and almost just leave the USPs for them to try and retake.
Scout shot connects to one more. Utility on towards the bomb site, knowing exactly where it's clear, and they will just be able to secure the plant. 3-0 start. Surreal does catch off Farven, so that's one good frag back. But again, not much being lost here for the T-side count. That was the SMG that went down. AK for Robin's going to be the main thing. If he stays in play, they'll release some investment going into the rifle round.
Oh, great damage being found. They're actually going to try and see if they can go for this, Jay, do even more damage and bring the AK forward through. They're going to try and go in for the retake.
All right, the game is on. AK up here. Speedy goes down. Flames and Surreal are going to get traded back, though. Robin trades this for 1 versus 2. And Dia on site, seeing Crucial tap up with a headshot, not quite coming through the AK. Eventually takes that man down. And Robin left to try and hold on to the site here. Get the defuse. Oh! No, Dia's tapping on for victory. And he taps to the 3rd round for Sprout. I think it's 3rd kill in the round as well.
I'll tell you what, though, I can say that Sprout probably won't be entirely satisfied with that round, Jay. They lost 4 players to a gamble stack of that A bomb site when they just could have gone quickly into B. I think they took some unnecessary fights there and lost a lot. So there is certainly a potential that if Endpoint can start to put some hurt on the economy for like a pretty quick reset to come out. AWP on the back of both players on respected teams. Crucial on the City side and Snatchy on the T side. This time a little bit quicker out towards Ramp from the T's, and Mighty Match should be an easy kill, but the trade comes out from Faffin.
1 for 1. And Sprout just can't, or sorry, Endpoint I should say, can't just seem to get the early round advantage. Getting the early control. Farvan will start to extend a bit farther forward though, and Gap and the smokes will get exploited. It will clear up now as the CT's back up away from Alley, but they'll still hear the utility coming through, so I know they're going to take the Alley presence on the Sprout side. It's info gain, but no real advanced angle to take a pick back.
All coming in from Ramp. They're not being silent about this at all, putting up a hell of a lot of utility, and it really comes down to maybe Dia on the entry, if he can wide swing out and see if to find a response back. They're even going to bring a 3rd player back over to A on this B bomb site. A good defensive hold so far from Endpoint.
AK ready to face up. 55 seconds to the clock. Smokes in, Gap there for Dia to find Crucial. No, the AWP swings on the man. Robin gets Dennis meanwhile. Speedy's left alone. The CT side will be able to hold on to their 1st round here. Been a bit of an awkward start against Sprout, but as the rifles come out, Endpoint find this line.
There it is. And spoke about the reset potential. Look at the money line coming out from the T's, Jay. As Sprout are in a really awkward position on a few players. They're going to have to force buy. And Endpoint are going to realize, hang on a minute, if we were able to win that gun round and do so much damage in the previous eco, their money line's going to be wrecked. They're going to have to force going into round 5. This is really the opportunity for Endpoint to get back in control, be able to tie up the scoreline, and maybe even see if they could try and take a lead. A single AK onto Speedy and Deagles for the rest of them.
Up for Crucial, looking down mid. And catch off the early advantage against likes of Dennis. Instead of going to just take the contact on Flames instead, but passive from the T side at the moment. Sprout careful around their contact. M4, eventually a Mighty Max finds his frag on Spiddy. Snatchy trains it. And the AK gets picked up by Farven instead. Might challenge on Robin next up here, the one player who's still waiting around this ramp position, calling in for backup as well. Flames gets to angle, but they can't quite find these guys. Robin takes one, look at D, and next sees him all the same. Damage has been done to the rifle, but he stays alive.
So smart play there from Robin, realizing the fact that he just needs to get out of there as quickly as possible. Ooh, Dennis may be able to actually find an opening in B. If Crucial starts to swing out, the B player can get isolated, especially at the timing. Dennis can silently make his way into B.
Sees one, takes that fight against Crucial, grabs that AWP, but turning onto the rotators instead. Jump round for Flames, he just evades the shot and gets the kill back to a 3-on-2. Footsteps being heard as well towards the B site. Good flashes to counteract them and catches both players blind in the face. Surreal on platform, backing up to the back line, sprays on Snatchy, takes him down. DNX to fall. Nice and easy for the CT side.
And I'll tell you what, that's a really, just a smart call there coming out from Flames, realizing the fact, okay, Dennis has taken down Crucial, so he's probably got the AWP, so let's try and see if we can bait out a shot. Actually jumps over the AWP to trade out from Dennis, and from there, setting themselves up, not rushing into B, but working together as a unit. And Sprout weren't really able to deal with the ramp presence, and started to get an opening once Dennis opens up B, but it's not quite enough. A very light investment to come through. Pretty much just Glocks and a couple of P250s here and there. Endpoint. And this is really the chance to start to build up their money line on the CT side. They shouldn't lose more than one player here, Jay.
M4 and Surreal in the back line, held looking towards Wood and Stairs. Glocks to get boosted up. Did he see heads? I don't think he did. He'll see Snatchy now, try and turn around, laid up against his position. Got Spinny to deal with, it does get overwhelmed by the Glock shots, so eventually they find that much. Crucial turns around, drops that bomb planter, but also goes full into Dennis. So 3-on-3, trains are good. The bomb plant is going to be allowed here. Farven against Robin, catches him in the back line as well. The backstab gets dealt with, and suddenly Sprout are on to do some damage here.
Oh, they really are, Jay. Look at the aggression coming out from Dennis towards the generator position. Oh, and now Snatchy's got a kill. What is going on? 2 P250s and 3 Glocks have just ripped apart a complete buy. What? Oh, that's so tilting. If it was Deagles and it was a little bit of armor and some Kevlar and some utility, I'd say, okay, you know, that happens. They had 2 P250s and Glocks, Jay.
That's not fun.
It really isn't.
Saying the least. Sprout could have gotten away with damage there in that 3-on-3, and that would have been a fantastic round for them, getting so much more than that. Endpoint giving up the ghost big time. And now they're down to their own pistol eco. Already an AWP kill for Statue coming in, taking out Robin to start. Looking for his second pick also towards the alleyway position. You've got Flames next in with the Deagle. Sprays through, burst up. Farven takes that frag. Lays onto his position, might do some damage to return, but it's a 5 versus 3.
And Sprout capitalizing on a huge mistake from their opposition in that last round with a great round against an eco themselves. Only a couple of upgraded pistols here and there. Have not really been able to find anything on this CT side. Complete ramp control, 3 kills already for the T's. Dennis opening it up. And now it's all down to Surreal in the back lines to maybe see if he can recover a weapon, bring it into the next round, see if we can get a kill or 2. But for Sprout, starting off Vertigo with a 5-2 lead, Jay.
An effective 5-2 lead at that. Endpoint may have started things off good with their earlier rifle and follow-up victory, but losing to the eco is just going to be even much better for the Sprout side. Economy will be decimated. Deagle's up, it's real, hoping to get an exit frag, but nothing will go his way. Therefore, the frag can be easy as that. Sprout mostly going to lean against the rifles here, the Endpoint side, who have the rebuy coming in around 8. Speaking of rebuys, you can rebuy some stick skins for your inventory only at hellcase.com, our case partners. Use codes MaltaV and MaltaV15. Get some free money and a free 15% refill bonus as well. Tech pause coming in at this moment, Blake. I'm not sure who for, I'm not sure what the reasoning is, but obviously To wait a little bit of time to get this whole issue sorted, we can get straight back into the game.
And for Sprout, they've got to be thinking about really starting to claw rounds on the T side now. We saw them taking on North yesterday in the group stage where they lost 0-2, but they ended up putting 7 rounds on T and only 4 on CT to get 11 rounds altogether. So for Sprout, looking at a team like Endpoint, sort of saying, right, maybe if we can get to 9 or 10 rounds on T, then that really opens up an opportunity of going into the second half feeling confident and looking to potentially take a map victory here. I mean, it's still very early days in this matchup, but Sprout have already been looking pretty impressive. And look, for Endpoint, I mean, I certainly think with the experience that Mighty Max has, that it probably won't tilt the team like most of the UK teams would in a round like that. But he's really got to be making sure that he's sort of calmed down all of his players, because that's a round that really should never happen, but it's one that did, and that they need to just get past it. They can't think about it anymore.
Small tech problem mentioned. I believe Flames dropped out the server a moment ago. Getting him rebooted and back into the game itself so we can get on with the matchup. Of course, the buy has been defined here for Endpoint. It was going to be a rifle buy, so you can see exactly what they've got here. A little bit of limited utility for Mighty Max and Crucial, but with the AWP being on Crucial, that's not too much of a worry. Head Kevlar for Mighty Max, though. I mean, you could have bought a HE with that money. Almost like a flattery so desired, but Fuse Kit is in for him. And I guess it's not the worst thing in the world, because they've got 2 M4 still to work with for Sprout.
Decent. Now, this has got to be the way back in. Now, one thing to kind of keep an eye on is where Mighty Max is being the anchor of. He's playing over towards that A-bomb site. He's the one with the kit. A lot of utility of anti-rush out towards ramp, and Endpoint have been able to at least establish some controls. Spinny, though, all by himself, running up through ramp. He had no support from a teammate.
Crucial can find that opening kill pretty easy for it. Man down, Sprout didn't even get the ramp control for it or any information back for their execution. They're leaning in towards the B-side play. M4 Surreal facing up. Flames there on that boost spot position. Takes a spray on one man. Could not quite find Dennis. Dennis allowed to get Surreal as a result, but Flames doubles up in the end to take away the mid control. The players making their way from stairs have already found access to the site. Can't secure the bomb plant, but Endpoint have their advantages on this retake.
It's down to the Polish powerhouse, the 2-on-4 for the Poles to see if they could bring this back. Snatchy starting to aggress with the AWP. Flames has done a great job in the round so far and getting a couple of kills. The traces through the smoke. Endpoint setting themselves up for the utility. And both players are quite aggressive from the Sprout side.
Only one on back. Stop! That's massive. See, Crucial to turn it to 3. And one man turns the whole round around for Sprout. AWP is Snatchy to shut it all down. But D is the hero as Sprout gets 6.
Oh my goodness, what a play coming out from Snatchy and Dihar. The lineup comes through from Robin and Flames, follows up with the AWP, and then Snatchy gets the last kill on the Mighty Max. Endpoint, bottle, a 4-on-2 retake. Oh my goodness. How has that happened? That should never have happened. That round was done.
Alas, here we are. Deco coming through from Endpoint, going to try and aggress down the mid position, but no contact established by the T side. Right back over towards the B side. Dennis has seen one already. The Eagle in, does take the frag. Okay. AWP with Snatchy also doesn't land its shot. Eventually does take Surreal down to a 4-on-4. Incendiaries and smokes up again. Gap locked out. Speed's going to get Mighty Max. Missed that smoke. Crucial evades the shots from Statue, continuing to miss bullet after bullet with the AWP, but continuing to face forward, take out Crucial. Deagle Robin does catch him off. Bomb plant denied for the moment. Spitty spooked a little bit. Meanwhile, on the back, Flame's going to get dealt with. Robin facing forward, goes to down to Dia, and the bomb plant can be secured here. 1-on-3 for Flames. He's out of the round.
Yeah, you've got to think pressure's now starting to build for this Endpoint side. 7-2 lead from Sprout. Looking pretty dominant on the T side so far. What's the change up from Endpoint? Do they want to get aggressive out through mid? We haven't really seen a lot of aggression from them. The only time we've seen aggression is maybe out towards the ramp control. Outside of that, not really much towards B stairs, not a lot out from mid. It's been relatively passive for the Endpoint side for the most part. And getting that AWP back on a Crucial. And M4's up for the rest of them. Sprout in a really good position, Jay, to keep building this T-side economy line. Look at how much money Snatchy and Farfan have, even for the rest of the teammates, all sitting sort of like on average about that 5k mark.
A lot of money to work with for Sprout.
Ooh.
And Crucial lands the opening kill on Dia. Opening things up down towards the mid position and towards the B side defensive. He's going to start facing forward as well. He might catch another good frag. No, Dennis trades him, so it's an AK set and ready. Respo's down from the CT. He's going to drive them away from the ramp position. Robin braces forward and takes a lot of damage by the Molotovs that came in against his line. Incendio is to respond from the CT camp, and now they realize that a fast rotation is coming in to the B bomb site. Spitty catching Surreal, blinded by the flashbang, dead and buried. Mighty Max caught off guard on the wraparound rotations as the T's have established all his map control and established a 4-on-2, making it one as Flames falls next.
They've got no idea what's going on there. So Endpoint, what happens is they start taking ramp control. They get double mollies, they smoke deep, and they flash in. And Sprout go, right, we're instantly getting out of there. They don't even contest. They run straight in through the B stairs. They offer up a lot of pressure. What I really love from Speedy 2J, he's the bomb carrier that's coming up to entry at B. He drops that bomb and wide swings because he knows if I go down, I'm dropping that bomb. At least if I drop it and then swing out, a teammate can pick it up a little bit later in the round, or I can pick it back up. Dennis comes out from mid, and one thing we really saw a lot from Dennis, Jay, in the group stage was how much lurking he was able to do. Does a really good job of being able to silently get out from B, cuts off so many rotations, ends up getting 3 kills, and Endpoint are really struggling on the city side of Vertigo, being one of the best teams in Tier 2 Counter-Strike on this map.
Okay. Now, usually, I would say at this point, it's a T side. But Endpoint, as you mentioned, one of the best, teams on this map. And I mean, you expect to have them at least have a decent CT side at this, you know? Like, you at least expect them to have some sort of level of presence on this first half. Because they picked it, I mean, and I get, obviously, the strategy there is to sort of, take your worst half so you can really sort of spring momentum into the second. Considering as of late, they've started to lose control of this map in their pool, maybe the issues might run a little bit deeper than just a CT half.
Yeah, might do. And you think about like the teams in Tier 2 that are strong on Vertigo. You've obviously got your Polish teams, your AGO, your Illuminars, your Pact example. These guys really like to play Vertigo. You've got your alternate attacks too, and Endpoint, one of the strongest teams on Vertigo. The fact that they're struggling this hard already is a very worrying sign, considering Sprout don't play this map at all. It's like an insta-ban for these guys, so already to get 8-2 up, they've put a lot of hurt onto the Endpoint side, slowly starting to contest out from ramp. Now the boost coming out from Robin hasn't quite seen anything just yet. Oh, he's seen ahead. This should be a killer to Spetty.
Can't catch off a second opportunity though. The Hen's going to get away alive. Little did he know he was in danger in the first place. Jump up now, looking for the boost player. Robin catches him with a good frag, and Cinder is smoked down for the CT utility basis to hold off against the incoming hit. And Smoke body blocked as well. I'm not sure that was intentional or not, but it does allow access for a bomb plant to come through from main. It's going to make its way out from alley though. Dia, 15 seconds to the clock, and Robin is still holding the corner. Mighty Max gets Snatchy next. Dia lines up 2 more though, and now enters Flames, all that remains. Meanwhile, Dennis makes way up towards the mid, takes out Crucial, cuts off the rotations. Surreal will get that trade, but he's the last man standing.
Oh, Endpoint, 1-on-2. Surreal's picked up the AK, and it's down to Fafin and Dia to hold on into the post plant. A tough angle towards the left there to pre-aim for Surreal. Can't make it happen. My goodness, I didn't think there was going to be a way in there for Sprout. The time was so low. The alley presence was great. The boost came up. They found an opening kill. They put the smoke down. They put a molly down. We saw a re-smoke coming in from Mighty Max. And the time was just so low. Dennis cuts off the rotators from the B bomb side. D is able to open up with 2 great kills from Ali. That should have been a round for Endpoint. That clock was so low, Jay.
It was. It really was. Ops in, AK's out, M4s for the CT board, and well, Dia will catch Surreal opening things up. Now things are really starting to look dire. Sprout hunting for 10, and they may well get it with the way things are going out here. Orb shot of Crucial misses. Nade to the backline should catch him for 51. Flashes the Molotovs over. Dia still swings without any utility support. Takes the frag on for a triple. He gets it. Of course he gets it. And this is 10 for Sprout. There's no way Endpoint recover this.
And you know what this is reminding me of? Do you remember when Dia was playing back with RC on Vertigo? Like how he just used to enter everywhere, where he was out towards B stairs, whether it was ramp. He was like just such a strong entry player on this map back in sort of like January, maybe even December last year. And like just, it's incredible. It is just such a performance from him. And what a performance from the team too. Like even the fact that Surreal is, Crucial I should say, is missing shots like that. Like that's uncharacteristic. He's normally a very, very sharp shooter. He missed 2 opportunities at that B bomb side to find a kill.
Halfway coming in from Endpoint in the next one. This is starting to get real concerning. 8 rounds the difference. And I would be shocked if we saw another overwhelming 2-0 in the quarterfinals today. Like, Forza versus Fate is understandable, but against Endpoint here, Sprout, especially on Vertigo, like they shouldn't be having this much trouble.
No, you're absolutely right. The Sprout are just looking so comfortable. We're seeing Dia just having a mass amount of impact on the entries. Dennis is cutting off so many rotators. They're just reading the game incredibly well, and that obviously comes down to the in-game leader of Spitty. Endpoint. Where do they respond? How do they get back involved? Out from mid from the T side. Maybe try and see if they can split their way into B. Showing a lot of presence, a lot of information's already been found, but it's only Deagles to work with on the City side.
Works up AK. Looking down the mid control, Dennis and Spitty. So Real's gonna catch that frag on Dia, drop that bomb, that's information gained, and a man advantage found for the CT side. Running away on Farvan's got to pick up that bomb, and rely on his teammates in the mid control to do most of the damage. Orb close against Surreal, lands that shot, no problems. Nade's back behind Crucial here, still set with the Deagle, and Stacky peeks and lands his head, domes the man, and Spitty comes up with 2 kills at the stack, and Mighty Max is left alone.
1 on 4. Ooh, good shot coming out from Mighty Max. Maybe see if he can recover a weapon and bring it into the next round. But it looks to be an 11th on the board to come out from Sprout. And you've got to think too, Jay, like I know that we're giving a fair bit of credit to Sprout, but like for Endpoint, there were so many situations where they've had 3 on 3. Do you remember even that 4 on 2 retake that they weren't able to close out at B? You know, it's like for Sprout, yeah, they're up 11-2, but at the same time, Endpoint aren't converting their advantages, and you've got to give it for Sprout of making it really awkward for these guys. You've got to think pressure's at another level now. 9 rounds the difference. The streak of 8 in a row, I want to say, from Sprout now. It's getting out of hand, and it's been getting out of hand for a while now.
Imagine this being a 13-2 half for Sprout. But again, T-side caveats, but Endpoint have really looked dire, really looked like they're missing a lot of shots, and they're just kind of being overwhelmed by every single opportunity that Sprout get. They're punishing them for aggressing. Look at Robin down here towards the construction area. Legged by the Orb, 17 HP. He's a dead man's walk in. Mighty Max taking the bomb part though. AK set for a 2K. Back turns around for the 3, but no. Dia gets it to a 3 on 3. Flames swing out to respond. He sees Farvan getting caught back by Dia again, who gets his 3K in of his own. Molotov's in the back. This guy has been doing amazing for Sprout. Needs to get that line in for Dennis to plant the bomber on A. Crucial and Surreal suppressed 2 on 2.
Get that bomb plant, force in the post plant, force the CTs to overextend. Crucial and Surreal faked out.
Oh,
Here finds yet another kill, and it's all down to Surreal. Gonna get Molly down. He needs to try and swing, at least get some sort of impact in the round. The bomb on the back of Dennis into a 1-on-1. Dia again. An ace with 21 kills and 6 deaths, Jay. Dia is like, he's just destroying everything. Absolutely everything on this T side.
Dia's on fire right now. Like, there's just no stopping him. Every single entry he finds is so good. And 21 frags, as you mentioned, in just 14 rounds.
Yeah, it's kind of comical to think about that, isn't it? And just how much impact he's finding on a regular basis too.
Many multi-frag rounds over in this one. Look at Robin, dealt with by Farven. Quick frag on the AK. I think all players in that context were blind. Farven moves up, edge of the smoke stuff, crosshairs looking away. Mighty Max could catch Dennis or Snatchy. Farven catches him first though. As a 5v3 scenario, Sprout continuing to overwhelm, and while Dia may have had the highlights in that last round, Farven's the one with 2 kills in this one.
Ooh, good return comes out from Surreal. That's an AK that could be picked up. But D has already opened up B. They could just bring the bomb over. This is as simple as that. They realize B bomb sites open up. You've still got Dia out towards mid, and he's even pushed further forward.
That it's unreal how Sprout have been able to worm their way around every position. Oh my god, that was insane.
Wide swinging an AWP.
Dia basically won the round as soon as he swung in towards the B bomb site. You know, he had full control of this, but Crucial with the shock of his life. Insane shots coming out. 13-2 for Sprout. Endpoint have bottled it. They have absolutely bottled this one.
I don't want to see the odds, Jay.
Neither do I.
Oh, what? I get involved right now. It's got to be more one-sided than that, but I suppose, yeah, like, series victory 1.1, yeah, it's still fair enough. Well, Sprout, they're looking to try and end this game as quickly as possible. You know what? I'm just hoping for Dia to get to 30. He's getting close now.
Well, now he's got to turn around here. Snatchy and Farven. And Dennis set, Spinny rotating back. He's the only player on the A side, actually. Endpoint have read this pretty well. Smokes up. That one missed entirely. Wide face Surreal to a 4-on-4. And the bomb plant can be secured by Endpoint, at least setting up the retake on the A side.
A little bit of counter utility too. A couple of flashbangs and a HE could seriously work out for them. They don't know about the ramp play coming out from Snatchy. Good check from Robin, and that's the man advantage found, but Dia's on the return.
You ain't stopping him. You ain't stopping him. You ain't stopping him. He can't quite close out the last. Crucial barely holding on, but Dia still gets 4 because of course he does. 14 for Sprout when Endpoint had everything to play for.
And of course it's Dia, the one that clutches out that round into the one-on-one. 27 kills! He's 3 away from 30 bombing, Jay! Oh my goodness! I don't think any of his teammates are even close to 20 kills.
Imagine 30 bombing in 17 or 18 rounds, right? That's the reality for Dia right now.
It is.
I don't think I've seen a performance like this since... What, MDL maybe? Like back in summer last year?
I don't think I've ever seen a performance like this.
When Vinny went 42 kills in one regulation map.
Yeah.
Like that's what we're talking about here when we talk about performances like this. They are so rare, so far. It's just, I don't know what to say anymore. D is set and ready here towards the B bomb site. Surreal has snuck his way into the site, not checking back a quad. He is now, and Dia is dealt with. 4 versus 3 for for Endpoint. Up towards this B bomb site. The bomb plant will be coming through.
Oh, it's a really good shout of actually being able to convert out this post plant. They're in a really great position. They've even got a lurk still to come out from Mighty Max. Denying that bomb plant is just going to give them a little bit more time, though. The Sprout setting themselves up, and they're very close to the site now.
Coming in for the retake, as you would expect. Khalil's bursting through for Surreal. Going to catch someone into the smoke, but Sprout are going to think better and smarter of this. They're going to save their weapons. Get the FAMAS in, get the SMG out. Scout for Snatchy is a bonus weapon. This will mean Endpoint get to 3. But it does mean more of a chance for Dia to get to 30. So, you know, positives, glass half full for Sprout. God, I hope Endpoint have a glass half full sort of mentality coming into this one, because they have been absolutely trounced by Sprout.
Yeah, no, they really have. And you've got to think that, at least for Endpoint, you still got to be trying to take it as seriously as possible. Like, yeah, maybe you can have a bit of a laugh about it and say, like, yeah, we've just been wrecked. But the matter of, like, the outcome is that there's not really much you could do. When you've got Dia performing at just this kind of a level, and he's just absolutely destroying you round after round, at least for the majority of the first half, even the pistol, there's not really much that you can do except just go, right, let's just see what we can do, see if we can bring this back to at least a respectable scoreline. A Sprout forcing in what they saved into. A fast play out towards the B stairs really quick. These HGs only doing a little bit of damage.
Dia taking a lot more back to 25 HP, so not the best of rounds here. But Sprout and eventually gets caught off by Crucial. Snatchy with that scout shot sends him tumbling to an early grave, though. 4-on-4. Endpoint wrapped back around, potentially looking for a rotation towards the ace side. They have not pushed ramp. They're still just held towards alley and entrance. And Dennis, oh, he's found the AK. Backing up as well, not extending so far as to drop down towards the sandbags boost.
They might even gamble stack A. They're completely rotating off of B. It all just comes down to how much time can they delay for the rotations to come through. Dennis and Snatchy, they're going to start to back up Fafin and Speedy over at A. Endpoint need to get a bit of a move on here, Jay. Otherwise, they're going to be running into 4 CTs.
Molotov's in, Endpoint. Still suppressed, and they're gambling this one. Dennis with the AK coming up real quick here. Top of the orange box is spinning on cross position, sees 2. The flashbang blinds him successfully. He goes down, so does Farven. Surreal doubling up. Dennis with a blind spray takes out Robin, though. 2 versus 3. And Scout shot still trying to connect from Snatchy, not landing towards Surreal. There would have been wall bangs on towards the orange boxes on the default plant, but no real kills coming through for him. Dennis tagged to 9. He's got to fall back. Snatchy's going to go ahead and join him. Get an AK out of this round, though. It's not a bad pickup for Sprout. Endpoint just slowly grinding their way back here on T side.
A nice way of being able to open up too. We see the cross smokes coming through, dealing with the site defenders before the rotators. Endpoint, 4 rounds now up on the board. Now that was a force fire coming out from Sprout, so it will be a pretty harsh eco saved in with the AK and the Scout. Won't be too much for them to work with going into round 19, but they will be able to get the buy going into round 20. And you've just got to think, Jay, like if you're looking at this Endpoint side, who to you is like a player that needs to step up in this situation? I would personally say Flames. Like I think the sort of mechanical firepower that he brings, especially in a situation like this, you've got to say that there's at least 1 or 2 players from Endpoint that really need to start firing up.
Well, I mean, you highlight Flames for a good reason there, because the boots he's filling is Thomas's, you know, and I hate to keep making the comparison, but he's such a good player, especially in the context of Endpoint, usually one of their top performers when they come and have these map-ups and these best of 3s. So for Flames not to show up here, it means that not only do they lose Thomas, they also lose their stand-in as well. It's like basically playing a 5-on-4. Out for Snatchy, looking on. Oh, he gets the headshot on Mighty Max. What a shot to start things off. And that prompts the push in from Endpoint straight out of the gate. Boost up for the Scout, though. Actually, the AK moves up instead. Sprays through. Robin takes 1. Farm with the Eagle set at the edge of the smoke. Robin takes Dia back to a 3-on-3 scenario. Snatchy gets Crucial in the midst of the smoke. So Sprout maintain the man advantage. And Endpoint, they don't know how to work into this one here.
Yeah, they've been spammed so many times now. And there's even a backstabbing member coming in from Speedy. Maybe he's trying to go down the ladder to try and backstab them in. Snatchy and Fafin on the site itself. The AK is still in play, and it's with Snatchy with armor. No one making noise. Flames answers back, and that's a big kill to be found.
Speedy's got to rotate. Deagle here, Farvin. Here's the footstep. Flames! 2K to his name. Beautiful shooting from the Scout, and Robin's all that remains. Spiddy making his way up, may bait in with the USP. Double face, and Farven gets 3 kills. A beautiful headshot to close it. And Sprout are on map points here at 15-4.
I can't believe what we're seeing, Jay. I saw this series and I thought, yeah, look, Vertigo may be a bit of a stomping affair to come out from Endpoint. The fact that it's the complete reverse, it's a wild thought. We see some great Scout shots. Even Farfan, like, we don't really see him too often on the Scout or the AWP, hitting some great shots in the end there. Endpoint can get a really decent buy through, but they're now up against Map Point on their map pick, Jay.
Scout in that last round got 4 kills, by the way. 2 on Snatchy, 2 on... Oh my god. Upset. AK saved in on Dennis and Dia. M4s for Farland and Spitty. The buyback from Endpoint is harsh. So harsh. Galil for Robin. AK's on 3. Diga for Crucial. They better come up with an opening start here, else they're going to be as good as done. Molotov against Dia will already try and force out his position. Information game. He still faces, still takes the real. Look at this Dia. He even double dips, but he doesn't get Crucial next.
And now Dennis wants to start getting aggressive, but Crucial is punishing this aggression. A couple of really overextending players towards the B stairs opens up that B opportunity. But Endpoint are still looking to try and head towards this A bomb site. Man advantage being found. Endpoint are in a really great position off the basis of Crucial fighting those 2 players just so aggressive.
Endpoint of the man advantage for the moment here. AK picked up by Crucial, of course dropping it from his earlier teammate. Incendiary for Spitty, puts it out towards Ali, expecting there to be more presence there, but the bomb's going to make his way in. Back at Robin, Spitty faces, gets that kill, does not double up, flashbang in. Farman continues his sprays though, falls back in the midst of the Molotov. Down to 41 HP, but a 2-on-2 scenario gained by Sprout. They can work with this, they have worked with this. They've done magic with worse here, but 10 seconds left, Crucial, bomb plant. Not going to get denied here. They're going to sneak up against him. AK in the back line takes Snatchy next. M4 Fartham dealt with by Crucial. 4 kills for Crucial. Hero for Endpoint when they needed it the most.
Yeah, and they needed someone to step up, someone to make a big play, and that was Crucial right there. He was the anchor of the B stairs. He just waited for overextensions to come through, and I think Sprout may be a little bit disappointed there, Jay. They did a really good job of contesting with Dia from the stairs area. They didn't need to overextend like that, and they got punished for it. And post-bloods come out in the 2-on-2, and Endpoint just stay alive. Another eco going the way of the Sprout side. Look how aggressive they are out through mid, though.
Straight in, flashes over. AK spray and Mighty Max to try catch them. Robin will get that first kill. And from here, the AKs can clean up house against the eco pistols. 3-6 to the Endpoint board at the very least. Speed tapping, Robin gets the kill on Spitting. And Sprout will have the rifles coming into round 22.
Maybe a tap pause could come out for Sprout just to kind of take a bit of a moment to sort of say, right, you know, we were really dominant in that first half. We won the pistol off the basis of a huge clutch coming out from Dia, then we followed up again. But really, it seems like the City side isn't looking as convincing as their T, so maybe if they lose this one here, they can just start to call in a bit of a pause, have a bit of a chat about the situation, because last thing you want to be doing is allowing a comeback to come through. Endpoint. No ramp control coming out for the T's, and, well, the City side, they've pretty much taken it immediately.
And for Dennis faces in, gets that one frag. Robin can quickly trade it back, but they've only gained so much control out of that. Bomb dropped, I believe, downstairs as well. So this B-face will only go so far with it. Dia's going to have to hold up against the defensive. Crucial will catch him instead. Meanwhile, towards the A ramp position, the T's are pressing inwards, and they've drawn all the attention towards the A site. The entries all come through. The B site is under T site control. Sprout are best to save their weapons from here.
Alrighty, this is getting at least a little bit more competitive, which is kind of what we wanted, Jay, in this series. Endpoint starting to bring it back as far as they can, but I draw similar parallels to that last series where we saw Forza taking on Fate, and it's like, right, once you get to map point, yeah, you might be able to give a few rounds here or there to your opposition, but it's only going to be a matter of time until Sprout gets to 16.
That's that main thing as well. We talked about it in the last series. When you're this far down on a map point, it's just a case of when rather than if the map victory comes through for the team in the lead. And Endpoint can stall for as long as possible. They could even be on for the comeback, but I'll only entertain that issue once we hit about 10, 11 rounds or so. Realistically speaking, Sprout are just one good play away from ending this whole thing.
Yeah, that's it. One big move, one big play, one big clutch, whatever it is. They only need one of them. Endpoint. How much further can they stay in the game? We've seen Sprout taking a fair bit of ramp control on the CT side. Oh, Surreal tries to push through that smoke by a lone soldier and just instantly gets deleted for it.
Marvin with the Hamas out, smokes down, Deagle's in, Speedy holds 2 kills, Deagle still set, AWP missing a shot, and they get ripped apart. And much like Inferno when Forza beat Fate earlier, it's Eco Pistols that win Sprout on Vertigo. Flames in a 1-on-5 with a clutch that's impossible, and a round that's doomed. 16-7, Sprout taking map 1 of the series.
Just so many mistakes there. Like, what is Surreal doing? Pushing through a smoke like that with no support. And that's a very easy round coming out from Sprout. And we did say, Jay, it was only going to be a matter of time until they got to 16. But I just did not see it happening on an eco like that. No one goes down.